What is going to happen to our society as AI and robots take most of our jobs? Michael Snyder reports. If you haven't lost your job yet, you should be very thankful. Artificial intelligence and robots are taking more of our jobs with each passing day, and there will be no end to this high-tech invasion. Eventually, we could get to a point where AI and robots can do virtually everything far more efficiently, far more inexpensively than humans can. So what will happen to the vast majority of the human population when their labor is no longer needed? Will a way be found to quietly deal with useless eaters that are considered to be just taking up space? For years, we have been warned that AI and robots would revolutionize the workforce, and now that day has officially arrived. For example, Amazon has been using various types of simple robots to perform certain tasks for years, and now highly sophisticated humanoid robots are being deployed right alongside normal human workers. Amazon recently began testing a new robot in its warehouse operations. They said, meet Digit, a humanoid bipedal robot with a turquoise torso and smiley eyes. Designed by Agility Robotics, which Amazon has invested in as part of its Industrial Innovation Fund, Digit is only the latest of a string of warehouse robots the company has introduced over the last several years. However, most of the other warehouse robots have been cart-shaped or robotic arms, not humanoid like Digit. Digit costs about 10 to 12 hours an hour to operate right now, based on its price and lifespan, but the company predicts that cost to drop to $2 to $3 an hour, plus overhead software costs as production ramps up. Agility Robotics CEO Damien Shelton told Bloomberg. Now, how are we supposed to compete with that? No human worker is going to work for $2 or $3 an hour. Plus, robots don't need breaks, they don't get sick, and they don't complain, and they don't steal from the company. So this trend is only going to accelerate during the years ahead. And even now, there is a McDonald's restaurant that's almost entirely run by robots. You may be thinking that robots won't be taking your job anytime soon because you have a white-collar job and that requires a high level of intelligence. Well, if you are a white-collar worker, there's a good chance that your current job will one day be made obsolete by artificial intelligence. In fact, Goldman Sachs is projecting that AI could take as many as 300 million full-time jobs during the years ahead, and most of them will be white-collar jobs. As many as 300 million full-time jobs around the world could be automated in some way by the newest wave of artificial intelligence that has spawned platforms like ChatGPT, according to Goldman Sachs economists. They predicted in a report Sunday that 18% of work globally could be computerized with the effects felt more deeply in advanced economies than emerging markets. And that's partly because white-collar workers are seen to be more at risk than manual laborers. Administrative workers and lawyers are expected to be most affected, the economist said, compared to the little effect seen on physically demanding or outdoor occupations such as construction and repair work. So how are we going to make a living when AI and robots do almost everything better and cheaper than we can? Now, vast numbers of jobs will be lost during the years ahead. Sadly, the truth is that the U.S. economy is already bleeding jobs. On Friday, the BLS told us that the establishment survey indicates that the U.S. economy added 216,000 jobs last month, but historically the household survey has been much more accurate, and it showed that the U.S. economy actually lost 683,000 jobs last month. But that's just a start. Next, we turn to the numbers behind the headline job prints, which were rather terrible. The monthly non-farm payrolls from the establishment survey may have been weak at 216,000, but the far more accurate household survey showed that the number of employed workers actually collapsed by an unprecedented 683,000, the biggest drop since the U.S. economy was shut down by COVID. And as I shared with my paid subscribers a few days ago, the BLS report also showed that the number of full-time jobs in the U.S. dropped by 1.531 million during the month of December. And here, one look at this month's adjustment, and it's literally a shocker. You will not hear anyone from the Biden administration, the mainstream media, or Associated Economist cheerleaders mention this, but the BLS reported that in December, the number of full-time jobs plunged by 1.531 million to 133.2 million, the biggest monthly drop since the record COVID crash of 14.7 million jobs. If that number is even close to accurate, we're in really big trouble. For some time, I have been writing about the tsunami of layoffs that have been happening in corporate America, and at this point, things have gotten so bad that even BlackRock is getting ready to lay off workers. BlackRock, the world's largest money management firm, plans to announce layoffs in the coming days of about 3% of its global workforce, Fox Business has learned. The job cuts of around 600 employees, which have yet to be reported, are being described internally as routine, according to a source familiar. And meanwhile, bankruptcies are surging all over the country. In fact, the number of bankruptcy filings in the United States in 2023 was 18% higher than it was in 2022. U.S. bankruptcy filings surged by 18% in 2023 on the back of higher interest rates, tougher lending standards, and the continued runoff of pandemic-era backstops. Data published Wednesday showed, although insolvency case volumes remain well below the level seen before the outbreak of COVID-19. Total bankruptcy filings encompassing commercial and personal insolvencies rose to 444,186 last year from 378,390 in 2022, according to data from bankruptcy data provider Equip Acer. Joe Biden will deny it for as long as he possibly can, but the truth is that we are in an economic crisis right now, but what we are experiencing at this moment is not even worth comparing to what is coming. So enjoy the last fumes of prosperity while you still can, because this ride only goes downhill from here. And this is by Michael Snyder. He says about the author, my name is Michael, and my brand new book entitled Chaos is now available in paperback for Kindle on Amazon. In addition to my new book, I've written 7 other books available on Amazon, including 7-Year Apocalypse, The Lost Prophecies of the Future of America, The Beginning of the End, and Living a Life That Really Matters, Commissions Earned. When you purchase any of these books, you help to support the work that I'm doing. And one way that you can really help is by sending copies as gifts to family and friends. Time is short, and I need help getting these warnings into the hands of as many people as possible. I have also started a brand new Substack newsletter, and I encourage you to subscribe so you won't miss any of my articles. I've published thousands of articles on the Economic Collapse blog, End of the American Dream, and the Most Important News, and the articles that I publish on those sites are republished on dozens of other prominent websites all over the globe. I always freely and happily allow others to republish my articles on their own websites, but I also ask that they include this about the author section with each article. The material contained in this article is for general information purposes only, and readers should consult licensed professionals before making any legal, business, financial, or health decisions. I encourage you to follow me on social media, Facebook and Twitter, and any way that you can share these articles with others is definitely a great help. These are such troubled times and people need hope. For God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten Son, that whosoever believeth in him should not perish but have everlasting life. If you have not already done so, I strongly urge you to invite Jesus Christ to be your Lord and Savior today. This is on the Economic Collapse blog by Michael Snyder. Please leave your comments, and thank you for your support. Kindly support my Patreon account. The daily posts are 5 videos daily, and they are totally different from what I have on my YouTube channel. Thank you so much for your support and that you find all my content so interesting. You'll find the Patreon account details in the description box below.